Those are some big rocks. I can't believe they were in the ground. That's a nice piece of flagstone right there. That's another nice piece of flagstone. We forgot a piece of metal. I can't believe that. A whopping $5 for all that metal.
You were right. I was like offended that you were right.
All right. I bet we got John's in the chat. I know that. Taj is in the chat. Let's check. Let's see if I'm right. Oh, we got 7 people here. Andrew, what's up? Nathan, Sharky's here. I was wrong. You guys surprised me today. What's up, everyone? Can you hear me? I have the mic on again. I want to make sure I'm coming in loud and clear. There isn't too much wind noise. Way wrong. I know. My bad. I underestimated you guys. I will take that into consideration next time. Obviously you can hear me, so that's good. Right now, I'm just cleaning up the area, getting ready to finish the fence. I want to move these rocks out of the way because I am about to spread the dirt along the fence, get it nice and even, leveled out, so the city doesn't hassle me anymore. Jeez, that dog scared the crap out of me.
Did that scare you too?
Yeah.
Fighting with the other dogs now.
I just got so much dirt in my shoe. Oh, did it? Oh, I thought the dog jumped out of the car. These dogs are something else over here, folks. They are feisty. Who else is here? We got 7. I'd say we got 10 now. Oh, 8. Now I'm overestimating the chat. That's not good. Yeah, I'm really glad to have you here too. Check it out. We finally made a decision on the fence. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm just going to show you. Didn't cost us a penny either. I did not have to buy any additional materials. I had everything that I needed at the house. Oh, sorry for the noise. This is what we ultimately decided to do. Plywood. We're going to keep the plywood. There were a lot of great points made. Some being about cost, others being about vandalism. We took everything into consideration and ultimately decided that the plywood fence looked good. There's nothing wrong with it. And if it does get vandalized, it'll be the easiest to fix. I don't know how I would take spray paint off the metal other than painting the metal over, but painted metal doesn't really look good. Painted plywood will be easy. And then another reason why we picked the plywood was because we are planning to paint a mural ourselves. So we're gonna beat the vandals to it, and we're gonna vandalize our own fence. We're gonna paint a beautiful mural on the front side, and yeah, it's gonna be sick. We're also gonna stain all of this plywood so that it's treated, water protected, all that good stuff. That's a bummer that the new sheets are a little bit cleaner, a little bit brighter than the old ones, but it only took a week for those to get that stained brown. That's just natural sun stain, yeah. the, what is that called? Ombre, where the color gets from darker to lighter. Is that the term?
Yeah, ombre.
Okay, we got an ombre fence. It starts dark here on the first panel and then it gets lighter as we go. So that's pretty cool. Big Dreams, what's up? You're gonna have to remind me your name one more time. For some reason I remember Isabel, your little pup, cutest thing ever. But your name has slipped my mind today and I feel really bad about it, but I'd rather ask you than be awkward and then not remember at all. So please remind me one more time. I'm gonna run back to the chat so I don't miss your message. Courtney, okay, Courtney, I'm not gonna forget this time. It is now sharpied into my brain. I got you, Courtney. Thank you for being here. And please continue posting content. I haven't had the time to go through your entire page, but on the bright side, you're popping up on my YouTube for you, so I'll be catching up on your content as soon as I have time to sit and watch. Every time I have free time, I am on my phone editing, not watching, but I'll be catching up on everyone's channels here really soon. Wow, look at it. It even fits snugly in there without screws. That's amazing. I think the plywood looks great. I don't care what the haters say. I don't care how nice the metal looked either. I need the metal for future projects. That'll be way more useful than ripping this plywood off and trying to put the metal up there. You guys agree with me? Yeah, it was weird. When I first started the project and started asking for feedback, everybody was all for taking the plywood down. But now that I actually purchased metal and other materials to take the plywood down, everyone said, no, leave the plywood. You guys are making my decision making a tough process. Daniel Santi from Española, what's up? Another good neighbor from the 505. Yeah, what do you think? Hey Nicole, what do you guys think? Does it look good? Let me screw those panels in so they don't look all warpy. I know that doesn't help the aesthetic at all. I'm honestly just really glad to have the fence done. The next thing we need to do is backfill and level out this front yard. And then do the same thing on the inside. We got to backfill with some, I don't know, fill dirt and then eventually gravel. And don't worry folks, we are going to treat the plywood. We got some polyurethane, nice thick clear coat. We're gonna put it all over the place. And all the cracks in the top, we're gonna put a thick coat in the top to make sure the plies don't come undone. But yeah, I thought about it for the past few days. And then I realized that half of the cabin was made out of plywood, untreated, uncoated. We didn't do anything special to it, plywood. And 2 years later, the cabin looked just the same as the day we put it up. So I'm happy with the 2-year time frame on this fence. If it'll last 2, it'll be worth it to me. I didn't have to put any additional money into it. Yeah, you can start filling them in. And I'm sorry that I'm missing chats. Let me put a couple more screws in and I'm gonna come right back to the chat. So didn't forget about you guys, don't worry. Let me know what you think of this decision. Did I make the right move by keeping the plywood? Do you think we'll be fine doing this? Worst case scenario, I see that the plywood is deteriorating and then I just come and cover it up with metal. Metal that I probably will still have if I don't use it by then. But chances are I'll have this place sold well before that comes. Alright, last screw and then I'm going to come talk to you guys for a little bit. Alright. There's a guy over here smacking dogs with a stick. Like he's smacking them with a stick. What's up, guys? That's on Grand. No, it's not on Grand. What's up, Roger? No, not on Grand. If it was on Grand, it'd probably be a commercial property. That's what I'm thinking. This is a residential. Let me zoom back out. So this is what we're thinking right now, folks. We're gonna polyurethane the entire fence, top and bottom. Those are treated, so the top and bottom lumber is just fine. But the plywood's gonna get polyed, clear coated, and then eventually, when we're confident enough, we're gonna paint a mural here on this side. And right next to the mural is a commercial parking lot. You see the parking lot on this side right here. So when people park here, they'll get to see this mural. And when I was at City Hall dealing with this entire mess of getting permits and getting in trouble, I noticed that inside of City Hall on one of the walls, they had a huge map of Las Vegas. It was painted in the early 1900s, maybe even before that. And it had all the buildings and streets and the river and everything, all the beauty of Las Vegas into one giant mural. I think I want to replicate that on this wall right here. I don't know if we have the artistic skills to do so nicely, but we're gonna give it our best shot for sure. I think we can pull it off. Oh, did you really? Yeah, you've probably been up and down these roads a ton. There's Ludi's right there. If you ran up and down South Pacific, then yeah, you'll recognize this pretty quickly. This is the neighborhood. This is our barrio now. We own commercial property just on the other side of this building here, and one day we're gonna turn it into something really, really cool. We purchased this property because of the proximity to our commercial spot. We were planning on using this as parking or storage or something, which we very well might continue to do, because the parking situation for our business is not the best. So if we did decide to keep this property here, we can fix that building up enough to use as a storage facility for product stock and I don't know, tools, anything else that we might need to store somewhere safely instead of renting a storage unit. And then we have elevated parking up there. We can even park our school bus back here if we wanted to, if we needed a safe space for it. And then we have all of this room here for parking as well. Parking lot included. Yeah, it might be a good parking spot if we do decide to open a business right there on the other side of that metal building. You met me at the Market Street in Santa Fe. Oh, it was in front of the Albertsons, wasn't it? It was either in front of Albertsons or in front of, yeah, the Market Street, duh. At DeVargas, I remember pretty clearly, yeah, dude. Crazy. Thanks for following me for so long. I appreciate you being here. That's awesome, man. Alright, while she does that, the next plan of action is to cut up these boards here. I need to cut 8-foot sections, and we're gonna stick those on the opposite side of this wall. That way we can hold all the rubble back and keep it from putting pressure against the new wall. That's the next thing I got to do. I'm gonna cut these with the chainsaw. Hopefully I don't mess up the chain too bad. I don't think the circular saw can get through them. I'll give it a shot. But these boards are pretty old and they're rough cut lumber, so they're actually 2 inches thick. They don't make them like that anymore. I'm right behind you guys. I'm looking for the tape measure. Alright, let me flip the camera. That way I can see you on the other side. There we go. Oh, whoa, phone. Where are you going? There we go. That'll work, right? Check out the new mic. This thing has been getting me by all week. Hasn't failed me yet. Love this thing. And it cuts out the wind noise. The little floof on the end. It really cuts back on wind noise. Thing, guys. It's insane. Yeah, we. Speaking of, I'm not gonna leave you hanging. When I was 3 years old, I think we got in a really bad car accident. We were in a Jeep Wrangler. Got hit by a drunk driver on the freeway, and our Jeep rolled something like 10, 15 times. I don't know. They found me like 50 or 75 feet away from the vehicle. I got launched out, and I was okay somehow. I mean, really, really banged up, but I had no broken bones, surprisingly. Other than a couple fractured toes here and there, I don't think I've ever broken a bone, seriously. Pretty neat. I'm gonna try and keep that streak alive as long as I possibly can. All right, please be 8 feet. Please be 8 feet. 6.5. This one's not gonna cut it. I need at least 8 foot out of these. Crazy, huh? Yeah, life is crazy. I thought there was gonna be a few more 8-footers in here. I'm not really seeing much. If I can get at least 3, that'd be really nice. This looks like one. So it's been verified. The circular saw cannot cut through these boards. So I am gonna have to use the chainsaw. Oh, there's the wind. I'm sure you caught a little bit of wind noise there. Not as much as normal. I have to use a chainsaw on this one. Man, that is some tough wood there. It smells amazing. I think it was even some type of cedar. It's got some beautiful color. I cut right through a knot on that one though, pretty unfortunate. The mic is way better. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, I'm gonna be trying to improve the channel in every way that I can from here on out. And I'm gonna need your guys' help to do that. I'm gonna need a lot of feedback from everyone. honest feedback. Please, any chance you can, let me know how the content's going. If you're getting tired of something like the cabin footage, I understand it could be a little repetitive for some, but if you want me to change it up, let me know. If you want anything different music, different style of editing, let me know. I mean, ultimately, I will be doing the content however I prefer, because it is my channel, and I'm gonna edit and post and film the things that I want to film, you know. It's just the only way to keep the channel authentic. But your feedback means so much to me, and it does influence my decisions. Does it mean that I'm going to do everything you guys say? Absolutely not. I had so many people telling me to take the plywood down. I had just as many, if not more, people telling me to replace it with metal and do it all kinds of different ways. But at the same time, I had a lot of people liking the plywood and liking what we were doing over there. So that's what stuck ultimately. This is the most cost effective. That was a popular comment. Time-wise, there's a lot of good comments. I think the one that stuck with me most was the vandalism potential. I can see this getting vandalized pretty easily, pretty quickly. And if I put metal, someone might want to take the metal down. Thief in the night come steal my metal. That's probably the most likely thing to happen, knowing the people around here. The second most likely thing to happen is tagging, spray paint. So if they spray painted my metal, I would have a tougher time trying to fix that issue than with this plywood. The plywood will take paint easy. I can coat it with a nice fresh coat of primer if somebody tags it. And I want to do a mural in the future anyways, so the plywood makes the most sense. Metal is not cheap either, exactly. It was at least double the cost of the plywood, if not more, because I got the plywood all on sale. They were each $10 a sheet because they were slightly warped, which didn't make a difference on the fence, by the way. The metal I also got in a discount. I actually paid $10 a sheet for the metal as well, but it takes 2 sheets of metal for every 1 sheet of plywood, and I can hold on to the metal a little bit longer than the plywood. If I let the plywood sit in my yard for 6 months until I need it, there's a good chance it'll go bad in my yard. Whereas if I sit the metal in my yard for 6 months until I need it, nothing's gonna happen to that. So yeah, I am way more useful keeping the metal other than the plywood. And that's why I made the decision to leave the plywood here, where I don't really care about it. And that's also why I'm making the decision to use this old nasty lumber for things around this property instead of just throwing it out. We got to repurpose as much as we can. If this was my house and if I was planning on keeping this place for a long time, then I'd probably have a different approach on this, but that's not the case. We're trying to sell this. We're actively in the process of selling it, and what I do here doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. So cheaper is better. It doesn't matter what I do. There's a very high chance that the new owner is going to come in here and want to do it their own way. So I'm not going to invest too much into doing things how I want, just knowing that they might get erased. So what I'm doing now is cutting 8-foot sections that I'm going to screw on the opposite side. These are going to hold all the rubble and all the gravel when we decide to backfill. And we talked about it last night, and we had the great idea to build some garden beds on the interior of the fence, on the off chance that we don't sell the property and that we need to keep it. So if that were to happen, we're gonna build a community garden on the inside. We're gonna build garden beds all on the interior side of the fence, kind of like we did at our house. For those of you that made the live stream of us giving you the tour of the zoo, you saw the garden beds that I built for Wifey on the interior side of our fence. I'd pretty much be doing the exact same thing here. But instead of paying for that lumber, half of that garden bed lumber is gonna be from this pile right behind me. So I'm saving roughly between $50 and $100 today just by repurposing this wood that I needed to move anyways. So I'm trying to be resourceful in every step of this process. And it's gonna look cool. This lumber looks really cool. It's obviously been standing here for 50 plus years. It's cedar. It's made for the elements. It's bug repellent naturally. And it's probably gonna get hit with the polyurethane once we get started with that. I honestly just need one more to do the section that I wanted to do today. I think I see one right here on top. And I really need to hurry up and get this done because I have a big golf tournament this weekend. And I should honestly be at the golf course practicing instead of working. Thanks.
How's it going over here?
It's good. This is the last old board that I need for now. And I think it was the last good one anyways. I'm going to take this one all the way around. Do you want to follow me with the camera?
Yeah.
There are nails all over these boards.
There's what?
Nails all over these boards.
I know. I went to pick it up.
That works. What? Eventually. All right, that's the idea. Let me give you a sneak peek, show you what I'm doing. Oh, my bad. All right, this is what I'm doing, folks. See, I'm putting these boards on the inside to hold back all this dirt. Naturally, the dirt's gonna wanna fall towards the fence, and these boards are gonna catch it all. And then right above those is where I'll build the garden beds coming into the property this way. So all on the interior side of the fence will be garden beds. If we do keep this property, I won't invest that much into it if we end up selling it right away. But if it hasn't sold in, I don't know, 6 months, let's call it by the end of winter time, we will definitely be popping seeds here in this lot. And our garden bed will be the entire inside perimeter of the fence. Is that a good plan?
You like how I did it?
Let's hope they don't ruin part 2. Who? Let's hope who doesn't ruin part 2. Yeah, looks good.
Looks good. Thank you.
Yeah, really good. Look at all this flagstone we got. We're gonna use that for something. Might take it up to the new property once we own it and use it out there. Let's see. The next thing I gotta do is chop off the tops of these railroad ties. They're a little too tall. That was kind of wasteful. What a shame. I wasted 2 10-foot tall railroad ties just to chop them at 5 foot. And yeah, we're gonna have a lot of waste there. Oh well. It is what it is. I can always buy more. Oh, Happy Gilmore part 2. I missed the first comment about Happy Gilmore. I know, I'm excited. Comes out next week. It is on our watch list. We can't wait. Speaking of Happy Gilmore, have you seen the show Stick on Apple TV with Owen Wilson? Another golf show. It's a series, but man, it's good. It's really, really good. You should watch it. Alrighty, folks, that's what we're working on today. I'm going to put the camera down, end this live stream, and start working. It's been 30 minutes. That's a solid live. I'm going to try and dedicate at least 30 minutes a day to you, if not more. I'm shooting for an hour per live stream, but I really need to get this done so I can get to the golf course by 4 o'clock. I got a lot of work to do. I need to play 18 today and tomorrow and get in shape for this weekend. Biggest tournament of the year. It'll be my